a sharing session to guide and to give you motivation for other candidate to pursue on your PhD journey, right? So basically, a little bit introduction of myself. So my name is Norhasri Sidek, okay, from School of Civil Engineering. Now I park under ISEM, Institute for Infrastructure Engineering and Sustainable Management, UiTM Shah Alam. So before this, I was in UiTM Penang, and 2018 been transferred here and parked under ISEM. Okay, so my major study and is on advanced materials in engineering. Right? Alright. Okay. So so feel free to ask me, to stop me during my presentation and ask anything related to this one. Okay. So alright. So basically, what is DRP? So at the end of this session, so basically DRP is I always share to my students. DRP is a session on how we express your findings and your output. Okay, so basically DRP is a for me it's a pre-viva. Okay, it's a pre-viva. So we cannot take for granted. Okay, so you must be serious on it. Okay, because it will reflect what you're capable of PhD candidate or master candidate, right, to pursue on your study. Okay, so basic things that that hopefully can be shared with students and also the research candidate here is after this you have an idea how to prepare yourself on the DRP section. So what are the basic thing that examiner is looking for candidates during the DRPs, okay, and your preparation and how to trick and tips during the DRP session, okay. So basically, for me, I always taught to myself and also to my students, DRP is not a session that is very lenient, it's very easy, okay, so you need to very serious on it, right? Okay, so you need to prepare, okay? Don't take for granted, right? So what is DRP? So basically DRP is just an oral presentation around lasts around 30 to 1 hours, depends on the panels. So normally it involves three panels. The first and second panels will be asking on the whole of your presentation, and then you have another one panel which is will cover on the methodology, and then we have another chairperson. So basically the question will be asked by these three panels based on their experience and based on the report that been written and been handed in to them. So that's why I'm saying that DRP is an oral presentation, oral defense of your work. So nothing to be scared of. Okay, just prepare yourself because this is your work. Okay, this is your work. So I think although your panels maybe in terms of knowledge and experience is more than you, but at the end, this is your work. So I think you for all the DRP's candidates, okay, stick to your mind, stick to yourself. This is my work. I already know what I'm going to do. Okay, so it's just a process of DRP. It's just a process of those panels want to see is your flow of research as a master or PhD candidate is in line. So that is the role of examiners or panel. So first thing that's why I stated in this slides. Just prepare yourself during the DRP. Tell what you have done, your area, okay, past researches and foundation knowledge. So bear in mind to all, foundation is very important or fundamentals is very important in the if you are in a research candidate. Okay, fundamentals is very important because from there, panels can see any lacking of information or lacking of knowledge from your side. Okay, so yes, we as a student cannot know everything in our field. Yes, but at least you prepare a very good fundamental knowledge on what you are doing now. Okay, right? Okay, so it's very important. Again, know what you have done, know your area well. Okay, check for previous researchers. Okay, and topics regarding yours, and then prepare yourself with a very good fundamental on what area is your is the area that you uh, been assigned of. Okay, so these four things is very important to know before you go for the RP session. So normally the RP session is SEM 2 and SEM 3 if I'm not mistaken. All right, so you have almost 1 year to prepare for yourself for the RP. So that's why during your the first semester, I always taught to my student, prepare yourself during your DRP. Although they will be facing their DRP for another 1 year, okay, but I always urge them to prepare, okay, especially on the fundamentals. So just one tips, just to get a mood or to prepare yourself mentally and physically during the first year before your DRP. Prepare yourself with some writings, okay, for maybe conference papers or journals that regarding your areas. Go for review papers. Okay, try to write at least one during your first year during your year one in your research candidature. Okay, so please just put in writing either you present in the conference or in the journals. Go for a simple review paper. Okay, because from there you can prepare yourself in terms on the previous research and also fundamental knowledge. Okay, so that is the first tricks and tips for today lah, especially for the RP candidates. Right. So next we move on to what are the examiners or the panels expecting from you. Okay. So their role, the role of examiners or panels is the first one is to read your thesis. For me, myself as a panels and also supervisor, the first thing that I will check from my student and from the candidature is the first one is typos. Okay, so nobody is perfect. So maybe some of the minor correction on the typos, but this is the thing that can somehow reflect on your preparation. So that's why the first thing that I always remind and share with my students is identify typos. Okay, so because this is the first thing that your supervisor, sorry, your panels, we see what is your intention or your seriousness in your uh, uh, candidate as a PhD or master students. Okay, identify typos. Okay, check for poor presentation, wrong. Okay, and if there any information which is lacking, make note of it. Okay, make note. Okay, so that's why I always say to my student, prepare yourself as a panels. So during your preparation for your DRP, you itself is also a panel. So just asking yourself during your preparing your slides or your reports for your DRP. Okay, so keep asking yourself. So what uh, you are doing now? So I always put that during my writing during my PhD proposal, I always put question mark every time I prepare my thesis report or journals. Okay, so from there, I'll be aware what the thing that panel will be aim to ask for me during the presentation. So just that's why put yourself also, although you are candidates, but put yourself as a examiners or panel. So from there, because this is your work, so only you know the loops and how to cover it. All right. So to cover on this one, please have a very good communication with your supervisors. Always see them, seek advice, okay? Especially during the DRP corner. So means around 1 week or 2 weeks before your DRPs, see your supervisor regularly, okay? Seek advice from them, right? So, so what are the examiners do? So they're looking for typos, looking for unclear statement, and then extract some issues. And basically, the examiners is only want to see, is it what you are presenting to them in the slides and in the reports is the same with the thing that you defense during your proposal. So that is the only thing. So inshallah, be calm. So don't afraid to your SV and also your panels. But again, do not overconfident. Overconfident is very dangerous. Okay, so be prepared yourself. At least you know what is your situation, know your examiners well. So I always share with my student during their before their presentation, okay, either from journals during their conference or on their defense proposal. Know your examiners well. Go to check their background. So what are the expertise of the examiners? From there, you can prepare yourself to cover on the thing that maybe you are lacking of during your preparing your proposal, right? So what can in the DRP during means the report um, uh, need to be clarified. So what the thing that you need to put and give some extra work to cover yourself during the presentation. Okay, the first one, defense your proposal clearly. Okay, clearly, right? So again, the examiners maybe is a well-known person in your field, but also the examiners also maybe lack of information in terms of your research. So both of it is advantages and also disadvantages for you during the presentation. Okay, that's why most of all, I always say to students, this is your work. Okay, this is your work. So means that everybody, you as a student know more compared to your panels or examiners. Okay, so I always say to my student that prepare yourself during the presentation. Now is a process of online. Now we on the either for vivas and also for DRP session now is online, so you can put most of your information, your books or your reference, which your panel cannot see. So that is one of the advantages now during the presentation for this new norm. Okay, compared to the previous one. When we have to face, okay, with panels and chairperson. So, but again, there's nothing wrong with it. Prepare yourself. So, put some notes besides you. Again, the notes that you prepare during your presentation basically is a question mark that that you have arise during your preparation of your work. Okay, so you are expecting them, means them is referring to your examiners or panels. What are the questions that uh, will be asked, okay, that you be expected from the examiners, okay? And last but not least, in your DRP, conclude your works, okay? Means that during the DRP, you must shows that you have at least have the method ready, methodology is ready. You have an expected outcome, although maybe some of the candidate here still not during your preparing for proposal, your DRP proposal, you have not go to the lab, okay, right? But for me, I prefer to go to the lab first before at least we have done some pilot studies. So that is very important, especially for SNT, for science and technology candidates, engineering. Okay, we need to have a pilot study before you go for your defense research proposal. Okay, because the data that the pilot data that you already finish in your lab is very important to show during the presentation so that your panels know so your progress and your knowledge on what you are doing. Okay, so that is very important. All right. Preparation. Okay. Uh, uh, the thing that I always taught to my student is please read, read, and read. Okay. So means that in writing there is no question mark. So if you read more, you will write more, and you find more that there is still lack many information that we are lacking, knowledge that we need to put in your research. That is very common. Okay. Uh, Nevertheless, that is the process, but again, that's why you must have a very good communication with your supervisors. So that is the role of supervisors to log on your content during the presentation. Okay, read your proposal, prepare example answers. Okay. So these are the things that I highlighted. Do not read this out. Means that uh, uh, put short form answers beside you, so so that you just shown keywords there, and then you present by using your own words. Because as a panel, me as a panel, I always see the confident of level of that students during their presentation. Okay, so just put your nerve down. Okay, that's why the during the proposal, yes, some students have some uh, a nightmare on during the presentation. Okay, thoughts of having loss on the points or others. Okay, that's why prepare yourself with your keywords besides you. Okay, so that's why it's very important to reread your proposal, reread the fundamental elements, uh, very serious on your methodology, and put some question mark and try to respond from the question marks. Okay, so what because from that question mark will be the, who knows, maybe from that question mark is the thing that will be raised up by your respectable panels. Okay. And then prepare yourself with some preparation between you and your supervisor. So during the DRP session, before your DRP session, you need to spare time quite often with your supervisors. Okay, that's why report to your supervisors regularly. Okay, share anything that you concerned of. Okay, and seek advice from them. Okay, seek advice from your supervisor. That is their role to prepare you for your proposal. All right, right. So tips during the RP. Okay, okay. I developed into four different things that needs you to be aware of. Okay, the first one is be calm. Okay, be calm, right? Uh, don't rush on your answers. Okay, that's what. So means that during your presentations, be calm. Okay, and yes, put your nerve away, right? Okay, that's why tips of during the presentation, especially on the Q&A session, is prepare yourself with your keynotes beside you. Okay, prepare yourself with keynotes. So that's keywords, keywords beside you. So keywords means that is the thing is that you already discussed with your supervisors. Okay, right. So before you answers, if you cannot understand the question, politely ask to the panels to repeat the question. Okay, politely, right? So that is a manners during our presentation. Respect your panels, at least your respectable panels. Okay, respect them because your knowledge is more than you. Although maybe in terms of age, some of the candidate is much older compared to your list of panels, but respect their knowledge. Okay, respect their knowledge. So that's why have a very good communication and positive vibes during the presentation. All right, do not put any grudge during your presentation. Okay, right. So hear the question carefully, takes time to respond. Okay, that's why I am saying on the first tips, do not rush your answers. Take times to respond to the questions. All right. Okay. So that's why politely maybe you can say thank you for the question. Okay, start with these quotes. Okay, because this is the thing that some panels love to hear from students. Okay, okay, politely. Okay, politely. All right. So next, discuss means that after you already hear your question, maybe you need to jot down the question. Is no problem on that. Just prepare notes beside you, jot down the question. Okay, and then takes time to respond, and then within a very short time answers either yes or no. First of all, respond with yes or no. Okay, and then you elaborate why you are saying yes, why you are saying no. Okay, okay. So during the elaboration, put justification based on your findings. Okay, although during the DRP session, maybe if you because some of the lab work is not been done yet, but you need to somehow justify why you come out with this one. Okay, what you come up with this method, why you come up with this expected outcome, why you come up with this research objectives. That's why this is your work. So it takes time. Okay, takes time. Think. Okay, and justify. And how you justify is based on facts. Means that you must have examples and also you must have evidence. Okay, evidence on what? So maybe from past researchers or others, right? Next, answer but do not defensive. So this is very important. Okay, for DRP and also for Viva. Okay, means that on this part, normally student saying that the words that hopefully cannot be voiced out from you candidate during the process of DRP is this information, this is being instructed by my supervisor. So please, yes, I know some of the work and most of the work is being instructed by supervisor, but please change the phrase, okay? Because that answers that if you voice it out, showing that you are not capable as a research student. So that is the thing that the first thing that bear in mind of the panels that will somehow give a negative impact to your uh, results of your DRP. All right. So prepare your answers carefully. All right. Although maybe some of the question that the question that been asked by the panels, you cannot answer on that. So just say a very good. For example, I already written. Thank you for the question. I already read this statement before. And I already mentioned it in my literature review, okay, on this part, on this section, but I will take a look at this clearly to support or to improve based on your comment. Okay, that is how you react with. Don't be defensive. Means that cannot just saying that sorry, I do not know. This is not out of my scope, out of my idea. Yes, maybe yeah, you don't have any idea on that, but try to rephrase that to see that you are not in that you are lacking information of it. Okay, because this is the thing that some panels love to see because they know that these are one of the element in the research student, which is yes, they know what are they lacking of, but how to counter it politely and how to respect people. So that is the thing that some of the panels love to see from candidature. Okay, so please be aware of that. All right, and the last four tips during the RP is stay calm. Okay, uh, so uh, during your presentation, don't be too aggressive, don't be too overconfident, okay? So stay calm and prepare yourself, follow your timing, because before that, I think you already prepare yourself for the DRP session. You've been given 20 to 35 minutes. So try to stop or to finish your presentation during the hours being given, all right? During the time or hours that been given to you. Okay, stay calm. Okay, stay calm. Okay, and uh, hopefully during the calmness you can uh, many things, many ideas can go from that. That's why I always say that to my students, uh, prepare a notes beside you. Okay, prepare a notes beside you. So put some notes, keywords, so that if you are blank during the presentation, you can refer it immediately. Okay, right. So this is also another tricks or tips during the DRP. Works in groups. Okay. Um, till now, my research team that involve my PhD student, also my FIP, and also my technician. We try to plan at least month. We have twice a meet between us. So that's working group. So from there, it's a coffee talk between you and your supervisors, your friend, okay, your seniors, okay, and just discuss on this matter on your topics during a coffee break, lunch session. Okay, so from there, ask question from one to each other, and maybe some of your friends, some of your seniors during the discussion can respond to them. Can respond and take note on that. So because maybe that is the answer that you are looking for. If you work alone, I think uh, um, you cannot express all the ideas inside. Okay, so during the discussion, only there you can have many opinion from others. So from there is a very good preparation for DRP students before you go for your DRP session. Okay, because some students uh, afraid to see their supervisors. Okay, afraid to see their supervisors. All right, but among you, you have your colleague that may be doing your PhD not in the same field with you, but have some discussion with them. Okay, share with them. Okay, so from there, maybe from that discussion, you can seek something information that can help you during the DRP. Okay, so basically for research students, or maybe for dissertation student that in the process of writing, uh, I think the best thing to have a very good writing is discuss and share with your friends, either emotionally or physically. Means that either discuss directly to your topic, or at least discuss what are your feeling during the process. Okay, so it will express the problem, share with your friends. Okay, so don't hide it in yourself, so that maybe you will put tension in yourself also. Okay, so please share with your friends or people inside in your team or in your research. Right. Again, the thing that also been I highlight here again. Okay, prepare yourself with questions. Okay, so put during your writing, during your preparing your DRP, or during your lab work also, put yourself as a panel. So what are you expecting from this outcome? So for example, during your writing for these subsections, so what are you expecting if you are as a panel? Okay, so from there, put a question mark. Put a question mark and try to seek for answers. If you cannot get the answers from journals or from discussion with friends, please refer back to your supervisors. Okay, please refer back to supervisors. So during my PhD years, I have two supervisors that is very helpful. Um, during the discussion, they directly not giving me the answers I need, but uh, uh, the thing is after the discussion, I know what the thing that I need to do. Okay, so that is very important to prepare yourself during the DRP. Okay, discuss with your supervisor, especially your supervisors. Okay, next, relationship of your work means that you need to check for novelty from what is your difference of your outcome or your uniqueness of your research based compared to the previous research, because this is the thing that panels is the first thing that panel will be see, or maybe the first question that will be questioned to you is after you already present your DRP is what is your uniqueness? So that is the most popular question to be asked during the DRP session. So prepare yourself. So means that you already have you preparing your proposal. So at least prepare yourself, try to seek from past researchers and newest research regarding your topic. So is it your topic is still relevant or not? Okay, so that's why it's very important. If for example, a few weeks before you presentation of your DRP, you found that there is a paper that quite similar in terms of title, uh, that been published in the journal already. Okay, so read through the journals, okay, and put some keywords and notes. What is the difference between yours and the new journal that you have found? Okay, because some of the panels is very good in terms of finding information. All right, so maybe they already prepared when they receive a copy of your works, and then they have normally panels already studied what the thing that you will be presenting to them during the presentation time. Okay, so one of the thing that panels or examiners will do is to find journals that you mentioned in your report and also newest journals. So at least if this journal already been read by the the panels or examiners, okay, so put your comment. So what is the difference between that journals with your study? So from there, uh, you already prepare yourself for what are the possibilities of uh, question that will be asked to them. Okay, be asked to you. Okay, so please prepare yourself. Please prepare yourself. So that's why until at the end of your presentation, one day before, please read and read. Okay, please read. Okay, right. Next, what is the thing that lead you to this approach? So basically, in this point number 3, normally focus on methodology. Okay, because some instrument cannot be found in Malaysia, so you need to custom. Okay, okay, you need to custom. So you need to defense your idea why you come up with this kind of setting or instrument. Okay, so from this, especially on this part, you need to prepare more. Okay, you need to prepare more because panels or examiners love to see how you defend, especially on this kind of new instrument, because the knowledge is there. That is your novelty basically on the preparing and your setting of your machine, which is not available in the world maybe. Okay, so that is the key point of you to defend and to rise up and to voice out your findings during the setting, okay, of your instrument. Okay, so that is your key point of selling. Okay, so that's why you need to have a very impressive uh, 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 flow of answers if this kind of question been raised out. Okay, right? And then last but not least, summarize the basic theory behind this approach. So means that if you are presenting a new theory or approach, so what trigger you to create or to form this new theory? Okay, so if you have maybe your study is focusing on new theories, so in terms of fundamentals, you cannot you need to prepare yourself deeply and critically, okay, in terms of fundamentals. All right, okay. Next, another thing that you need to prepare, okay. The first after you answers, you give your answers, maybe some your panels will be asking this, are you sure about that? So that is a very tricky question. If this code been respond to you by list of panels, okay, means that there is a two possibility, which is either your answers is wrong, okay, or they want to see, they want to help you to expand more on what are you presenting right now, okay. So so be prepared on that. So if this been answered to you, are you sure about that? Okay, so please prepare, means that they are not asking you, they are not asking for your mistakes, but they try, normally panels try to help you to foreseen this thing. Okay, okay. So before answers, again, think carefully, okay, and prepare your answers. Okay. Don't give negative feedbacks. For example, this is showing that this is your work now, nobody is doing now. Yes, yes, maybe that is your finding, but again, politely explain what your finding is. Okay, right? And again, respect your panels. That is the most important things. Okay. Uh, okay. Do not very defensive, but not too overconfident. Okay, not too aggressive. So just come and present as usual. Okay, right. And for you, thing to expected. We almost at the end of our presentation, right? Uh, Need to expect how your examiners is. Okay. So before you need to have a study on your examiners or your panels. What are their expertise? Need to study on this. Okay. What do you have learned on this during your preparing your DRP during the first year? So what you have learned? Okay. Know the external and internal examiner well, okay, because some universities during DRP they also invite internal examiner from outside. So for UiTM, I think we don't have any internal examiner during DRP, but some universities, especially in overseas, they have internal examiner to see if your research finding is good or not. Okay. Know the role of chairperson. Okay. If your supervisor is present or not. Okay. Don't be afraid because you are carrying their name. They also expecting that you can perform very well. Okay. So it's a process of during the presentation of DRP or Vivas. I think the supervisor also uh, not in a mood uh, of doing anything else if their student is in the room of DRP of presentation or Viva. Okay, so that's why this during the session, external and the examiners, the chairperson, the students, the supervisors also play their roles. Okay, so again, the examiners is not looking for your uh, what you are wrong in terms of methodology. They are helping you. Okay, so normally the role of examiner is to help you to strengthen your objective, strengthen your outcome of your research. This especially to help our student to go for GOTs. Okay, okay, grow and time. Right. Summary of DRP tips. First, know your examiners well. Okay, know your examiners like or dislikes. At least search for their journals, read it, and to see what the side of your examiners is. Okay. Uh, Discuss with your supervisor to have a mock DRP, okay, at least with some senior lecturers or maybe in your research group is also enough, okay. The most important thing, if you do not know, do not bluff. Just ask, I have read this, I have, but I'm not put in my literature. I will put in letter, and I will take this as a main concern to improve my works. Okay, politely respond. Okay, politely respond. Last but not least, please, during your first year as a master's or PhD candidate, do pilot studies. Okay, do pilot studies. So before you during your presentation, you hand in your DRP proposal. You already have some data to be present. Okay, some data to be present. Okay, it's not an expected outcome that maybe you are not aware of it. Okay, be careful on that, because if you have a pilot data, uh, uh, it shows that you already know a part of your PhD or master's objective. That's why just sharing my previous DRP students last semester, Alhamdulillah, they finish their objective 1, objective 2, and objective 3 during the DRP session. Okay, so credit to them. Okay, credit to them because I am saying that this is your work. I can just guide you. Okay, do your pilot study, because from there you know what things to do or thing not to do. Okay, so if you have negative result or not that you are expected, at least you have time to refine your objective. So that is very important. Do a pilot study or sample, right? This is some reference I get from some internet during this presentation. Okay, no worries. I will share with the committee. So, right. Last but not least, good luck for the candidate that will be having their DRP in this semester or after this. Before that, please, after you have already prepared the thing that already been mentioned earlier, know your work, know your thesis very well, know your examiners, do your mock viva or mock DRP, and then stay calm. Okay? One day before your presentation, please call your parents. Hope get their blessings. And last but not least, doa, doa, and doa, right? Okay, so that's the only thing that that we need to do. Get blessing for your parents, okay, from your friends, okay, and then always doa, doa, and doa, right? Right. I think that's all from my presentation. So need help on writing NTC consultant or any other testing, for example, on the optimization software, data analysis, and NDT testing, feel free to go to reach me by this phone number, social media, okay, and emails. And with that, I am up my presentation and hand back to the moderator. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much to Dr. Norhasri for a very informative and valuable tips for your DRP. So one thing that I would like to highlight here is know your area well and be calm during the presentation. So now we open the session for Q&A from the participants. So if you have questions, so you can ask. If you can also write the questions in the chat room, so I'll read the questions for you. If you have difficulties in your microphone. Okay, the first questions. Okay, is there any rubrics for the RP presentation that we can refer to?
Okay. I think that need to be checked with the IPSIS, is it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
I think.
supposedly we have the rubric for the presentation of the RP.
Okay, so I think different school will have their own kind of rubrics. So, but I think the thing is that all those rubrics in terms of the ideas, I think I already shared in my presentation. Okay, so I think from this session, hopefully the student can get some idea lah to prepare for your DRP session this semester or after this. Okay, right. So is there any other questions?
Okay, second question, Doctor, how big the expectation of the panel from fifth semester student who just about to defense for the first time?
All right. So basically for DRP for UiTM, I think is SEM 2 or SEM 3, is it? If I'm not mistaken. Year 2.
Supposedly semester once they registered, then after that they're going to have the DRP.
Okay, either in SEM 2 or SEM 3, I think.
Yeah, let me just add, excuse me, let me just add for DRP, for PhD, supposed to be within 12 months. And for Masters by Research, supposed to be within 6 months. So, yep. So 1 year for PhD, 6 months for Masters by Research. And just now to add on the rubrics, yes. So you can actually check when you are submitting your application for DRP, the rubrics are similar across the university. So the rubrics has been prepared by IPSIS for the research proposal. For presentation, there would not be any marks for it. So the marks will be given purely based on the proposal. Okay, itu je. Alright, Dr.
Alright.
Thank you, Dr. Sheila.
Thank you, Dr. Sheila, for the information. Okay, so just apart from the question, so for me, regardless you are in the fifth semester, fourth semester, for even sixth semester also, so still maybe not quite too late for you to present your DRP. Maybe you have reason for that. Maybe for so don't worry, because I think either you are in the first year of your DRP also, as been mentioned by Dr. Sheila, is the thing that the evaluators or examiners is evaluate based on your report, based on your report. So that's the most important thing. That's why I think that this is your works. So you know your work better than your examiners. Put that in your mind, okay? Because this is your work. You know better, okay? Although maybe some of the knowledge in your field, your examiners know very well, but again, some of it is in your topics that not been well known by examiners. So that is your key point of selling. Okay, so means that that is your advantage. Go for that. Go for that, and don't look back. So prepare yourself. If you already hand in your proposal, Alhamdulillah. So prepare based on your proposal. Okay, don't worry. Okay, prepare yourself based on your proposal. See, that's the most important thing. Okay, prepare based on what you are writing. Read again and again, and discuss with supervisors. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any question? Any
Yes,
other question?
we do have a few in the chat room.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I go back. Go to the chat room. I think. Okay. Some was it? Is the pilot data required for the RP, or is it only recommended? Okay. So based on your style of study, so basically, I think for me, I'm a kind of I'm a lab person. I think I prefer to do means that I prefer to do first, and then I get an idea. Okay, So it's a hands-on session. So, but again, depends on your mode or style of your areas. Okay. Normally for engineering, I think I prefer for you to do some pilot studies. Means pilot study, it can be for MCOs. Now we are in the process of MCO. We cannot go to the labs. Okay. Okay. To foresee, for example. So what I'm do with my students now, with my master student last week, yes, last Saturday, I go for mathematical equation. Mathematical equation, go for response surface model, so we can go for optimization. So they already done some of their testing before the MCO. So now they cannot go back to the lab to prepare for their reports, but they already have some data. So we work on the optimization software. So that is the thing that I think all the research student need to know on the optimization. Or you can use either MATLAB. You can if you heard on the design expert software, you can go for that. Inshallah, I can help if you have any problem on the design expert software. If you have data, we can go for mathematical equation that we can predict data, and then if we can go back to the labs, we can the data that we simulate in the software, we can compare with the existing lab work. Okay, so I think that is the thing that we can prepare yourself during the MCOs. Okay, but for me, if the data is not there for your pilot study, at least you have go for your reviews papers. So that is the thing that I think you need to do as a research student, either master or PhD. Go for a research review papers. Okay, review. So that is one of the thing that I think is very good for research student to prepare for yourself. If you do not have any chance to go to the lab for pilot study, go for review papers and evaluation. Okay, because the data you read from other journals can be put into the optimization software. So from there, you can go for expected outcome based on software analysis. This is the thing that I think during this MCO, everybody needs to know. Because we have very limited time to go to the lab. Okay, we cannot expect after September, after next year, 2022, what will be happen. So we need to prepare ourselves for this kind of things and knowledge. Okay, right. So I think that the answers. Is there any other that?
There is a question regarding different opinion regarding objective between panel and supervisor. Who should
All
we
right.
follow?
Okay. Okay. So this is the thing that always be mentioned. Either during the discussion with your supervisor or during the session of the RPs. Okay, for me, I think you as a student, okay, need to see both sides. What are the reason comes from your supervisor, and what is the reason come from the panels. So from there, uh, 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 from both comment, if okay, so please uh, do some study to somehow after this you uh, come up with your own objective that will highlight the comments on your supervisor side and also highlight the comment from the panels. Okay, so that's why it's very important during your objective, or during not so-called objective, during your preparation of your proposal from A to Z, know what you are writing of. Okay, know what you are writing of. Okay, always read again and again. Put question mark. Put question mark. If you read more, you will see there is many things that need to be improved. Yes, until at the day of presentation, we put the full stop lah for you to prepare. But before that, read and read. So for me, to answer on the person that asking on that, for me, I have been through this situation as a panel. So what I'm always advise to student is after the session, check this objective, discuss with your supervisors. You as a student need to come up with your own. Okay, you come up with your own objective, and from there, prepare yourself with new kind of flow of your research. Present it back to your supervisors. Okay, and then hear what your supervisor comment also. Okay, so I think because this again for me, this is your work. So I always say to my student, this is your work. Okay, I will assist here and here to somehow make this thing very nicely, right? Okay, so maybe that answer the comments. Okay. So is there any other
Yes,
question?
we do have. Is it all the comments from our examiners? We must give feedback or answers, or we
All right.
just agree or silent?
All right. Thank you for that. Very good question. Okay. Depends on are you ready to answer the question? Okay. All right. If the question is already been prepared by you, as I said earlier in my presentation, okay, put question mark every time you write. Okay, so from there you can expect what the question been asked. If the question is already been expected from you, politely answer. Okay, politely answer. But if you cannot respond to that, again, don't be silent. Again, okay, because you are a research student, the panels want to see what is your response, how you respond as a research student, PhD or masters. So the expectation is very high. So at least you give some idea. For example, like I say in my presentation, I never seen through this kind of question, but I have an idea based on this that I've been mentioned in the previous research. I stated in some of my literature review. I will go back it again and find more information on this and discuss with my supervisors. So answers the thing, the somehow respond like this politely. Okay, that's okay. If you no problem, if you don't have you have during the presentation you lack of idea, or no problem on that, but respond politely. Just don't say sorry, I do not know. So that is not a very good question for during the presentation session. Okay, candidate, please be calm. Again, any question being raised up, clear, take a deep breath, okay, and then answers politely, either yes or no. Okay, if no, feedback politely. Okay, just don't go to just saying sorry, I do not know. So that is not the thing that very good during the presentation. Ethics during the presentation. Okay, right?
Okay. We also have questions on the methodology proposed. So the
Right.
question is it compulsory to present a detail of expected outcome and result to justify the methodology proposed?
All right. Okay. So, Dr. Sheila, Dr. Sheila asked this question. All right. So basically, from my opinion, some of the methodology that during our presentation may be outdated, Okay. So we need to prepare to somehow hear the advice from the panels during the session. So what they are advising to improve on your um outcome. Okay, so again, it reflects back to our preparation. Okay, so if you know your topic very well, inshallah, you know the lacking point of it. Okay, right? So for me, expected outcome is just an expected outcome unless we have a pilot study. Okay, that's why it's very important for me. I think I always urge my student at least on the first year of their candidature, go to the lab, at least find on your objective 1, objective 2. Is it possible to do or not? From there, you know if your objective 1 and objective 2 cannot be done, how you want to proceed with the rest of the objective. So that's why it's very important to have a pilot study. So that's why it's very important to write down your objectives clearly. So make your objective achievable. Okay, discuss with your supervisor very well. Okay, but again, during the presentation, maybe some of the panels can have an idea to improve on your objectives. Is very that is normal for me. It's normal, right? But again, prepare yourself. You know your study. You know your area very well. Okay. So prepare. So I think if you have expected outcome that reflect to a methodology is very good. But if not so, just prepare on what you have, for example, on the past researcher or literature review. I think a very good review on your research, on your past researcher in your gap of research that you can explain from one to another and come up with your objective, that also will be a very good presentation during your DRP. If you cannot go to the lab or you do not have any time to go for pilot study, prepare yourself during gap of research by a very good summary and information analysis on your previous researches. Okay, right?
Okay, so I would like to read the last questions, and I think that this question is also quite interesting question.
All
Okay,
right.
doctor, is it beneficial to have submitted paper, just submit but not published yet, to be mentioned during DRP?
All right. Okay. One of a very good question also.
Yes.
For me, I put myself to respond this kind of question as a panel. For me, I think that if a student during their DRP session, they presented they already sent for journal, but not been given any comment on that. I think that reflect the motivation for this student to prepare themselves as a candidate for PhD or master students. Okay, so that's why if you have guts to send your paper during your first year of your candidature, so means that maybe you don't have much data. That's why I always say that student in your first year you can try to produce a paper once paper a year. Okay, for example. Okay, so maybe for first year you don't have any very integrated data, go for review papers. So it's not a compulsory, but if you can do so, it's very good. Although it's not been published or still in the process of publishing, you put yourself in the process of writing. That is very important because during your process of writing those paper, you put an effort to see for your works. And then that is a basic thing for you to prepare your DRP session.
Yes.
Yes, that is that's why I think if you already put an effort to go for a review paper, go for a conference also is very good. Means that you already put yourself in the process of writing. Means that you have already been in the stage of preparing yourself for a complete DRP presentation. Okay, so proceed. So all the candidate proceed. Please proceed. If you're not going for papers, go for conference. Okay, now conference is very cheap. 60 ringgit, 150 ringgit per session. Okay, grab it, discuss. Okay, get yourself, because during the presentation is a free element for you to present and to be commented. Okay, to be commented. Okay, that's why I'm saying that to my student, go. Is there any is there any information on the conference? Please go. Okay, okay. We have grants. We go for that. Okay. So I think for every candidate, please do your writing, regardless either it publish or not. It's no problem. Just mention in your session, in your DRP session. But the most important thing, if you already write or put some effort or for conference or journals, no worries. You are in the line of to prepare yourself to a very good DRP proposal, inshallah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Norhasri, for answering
Okay.
all the questions from the students and from the participants.
Alhamdulillah.
So I think
Hopefully I can give the answer
yes.
very good. I can reply the answer based on the the person that asked lah. Okay.
Okay.
But
So
anything after this, just feel free to contact or email me. I
all
try to
right.
assist
Okay, so I
what I
think
can for your research.
that's the last question from the participants right in
All
the chat
right.
room. Okay, so that's the end of our session. But before Dr. Hasri left, okay, can the participants on your camera so that we can have a photography session? Can, so they're saying, thank you so much, Doctor, for a wonderful sharing.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Hope for the best for your
Yeah.
DRP. Okay.
So can everyone please on the camera so that we can have a photography session before we move on to our next session with Dr. Nofitria later on. Okay. So this is, okay, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more, wait. Okay, for the next page. 1, 2, 3, smile, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. All right.
Okay.
Thank you to our speaker
Okay.
for the very informative and very, valuable tips for the students DRP later on. Okay, thank you
Okay.
again, Dr. Nasri. Okay,
All right.
thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
that.
All
Okay.
right.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And for all the students and participants, so we will have our next session on 10:30. Okay. So we wait for our next speaker. So the attendance link, I will share to you after the second session. Okay, so we can take a break first and we will continue at 10:30. Thank you.